topic ya leo is about single parenthood. We know them, you might come from a single parent home, or you might be a single parent yourself, or you know someone who's a single parent. And tunataka kuuliza, why is there such a high increase in the number of single parents in Kenya?
In our current society, you know, girls and boys when engaged sana in sex, unprotected sex. They have sex and they don't know the consequences after. See, ama maybe alcohol after talk out, you have sex, then after that, then you don't even know that guy, then you become pregnant, then see, it's another story then.
Sometimes we let on a poverty. Maybe I'm come from a poor family, my mom can't feed us, or our family can't feed us. I come across a guy who has money. In that situation, we exchange the money with my body. I can be pregnant, no, he doesn't want to marry me, I become a single parent without willing.
Okay, but wewe ukiona a single parent, either a man or a woman who is raising children on her own or his own, unamchukuliaje?
Maybe I can look at somebody and if he's somebody of a class, maybe well paid job, I may think that it is optional. Maybe she mostly ladies, they like having their being single, such that nobody will, she'll have it dependent of her salary, at movement, and all that without so many obstacles. And sometimes on the other hand, I can look at maybe somebody's history, family history, the way he or she is brought up. Because if you are brought up in a family where your parents were fighting now and then, you come to hate about family matters.
The ladies who decide to be, single parents from choice, yeah? I don't know, the guys here, if you've had a lady, especially the successful ones, yeah? They have a good job, they have a good career, and they ask other ladies at tea, what are men for, yeah? And as a guy, do you think that is fair, that if ladies are successful, they are single? Do you think that's fair, as a man?
Okay, I don't think so, because as a man, we tend to have a role in any woman's life.
Not necessarily financially.
Yeah, not financially. Even bringing up that kid, because that kid will need to have a father figure in that house. That's why at the end of the day, most, but I'm not saying all, find that kids may be brought up from single parents. They lack something in their life.
Okay, tutaendelea na hii discussion very shortly. For now, let's watch a small insert to be prepared kwa na maelezo zaidi.
Well, I became a single parent in my early 20s. It's not something that I planned for, but it came, so I had to embrace it. The challenges obviously came because I didn't have enough resources to me to provide for my child as I would have wished for him to have, the kind of life I would have wished for him to have. There's obviously comes a time when the child will ask a question like, where's my daddy? Because he can see other kids, they have moms and dads, and he doesn't have a daddy. I had to make my son understand that a daddy not being at home is not the reason why we are lacking when we do lack. I would actually commend my family because they've really taken my side. They don't put me down and say, why aren't you getting married? Because I'm in my mid-30s. Naturally, I would be expected to be married and maybe 3 more kids or something. My friends actually think that I'm wasting me by not getting married, but I don't get it. Because if I'm comfortable in my situation, why shouldn't you be? It's, however, discouraging how society views single parenting. It's sort of like some form of vice. And they don't have that belief that a single parent, be it a mom or a dad, can raise children who are morally sound and well educated. And the view is that a single parent will raise a hooligan. People will look at you and say, if your child does something silly, they'll say, oh, it's because he or she comes from a single parent family. But that's not the case. The single parents out here whose ultimate goal is to make sure they give their children the best, morally and otherwise, so that they can be future leaders of this country.
Mildred amesema kitu very interesting and important that I want us to pick up on, and that's how the society views single parents. Why is it that obviously ukiona mtu ambaye ni single and ako na watoto, you tend to think okay, mtoto ata turn out vizuri, or this is a kind of person who's like this and that. Why is that so?
It all depends. Like have my colleague, in fact the way she's been brought up, that kind of single life, She tells me that their dad used to come when he was drunk, they were beaten, they could not eat. She's my colleague. And that stigma is enough. And she'll never get married. She's rich now. tell us somebody is looking up and say, no, I'm not going to get married.
It's very challenging, like Mildred asked. At a time, mtu anakuuliza, mom, where's my dad? Like, ukipeleka mtoi outings, tuseme a single dad, unataka mtoto akae na hiyo life kama wengine. You take him out and swim and afanye nini. No, sasa zingine anakuuliza, like a friend, also is a colleague. There's a day I went out with my car. I dropped them. Then there's that one day he asked her mom, can you call uncle to be my dad so that we'll be driving you down for the park? Then the mother was like, oh no, she's just a best friend for us. So mtoto anafilio ana miss kitu moja. This thing is psychologically inaulizanga mtoto.
The child can be spoiled, or rather can maybe not live a perfect life, because you see the father figure has to be there, and it's also in the Bible that man and woman shall become one.
You see, like daughters who have been raised by single moms, like experiences. Kuna siku nilikuwa nimepotea, approached a lady, nilikuwa nataka kumuuliza direction. Nikamwambia hi, akanichapa kofi, pa! Afa akanambia all men are dogs. Nilikuwa nataka kumuuliza direction, yeah? Because of the mentality she has, yeah?
Okay, let me just ask you a question. Yes. So do you think, you see that this strong, independent career women, ambao they're doing so well, everything is going well for them, then they just feel wakona yo void ambao they want a child to fill. So they approach men and they say, listen, you're almost like a sperm donor, yeah? Just give me a child, but I don't want anything to do with you. I can take care of my child. So do you think that's rebellion, or how do you perceive that?
I think that's very selfish.
That's very selfish.
That's very selfish of her and the child, and even the man himself. Do you want to sire a child and not have access to the child? I mean, even the child will want to know who the dad is. Today, if I didn't know my father, I always tell my mom, you would have been in shit. You can be raised by your mom or your father, single parenthood, and you make it in life. It's true. Like where I come from, the people who have been raised by a single parent family, most of them have really, you know that I don't have a father or I don't have a mother, so you are alone here. So you have to work harder than those who are coming from.
And that's exactly what I wanted to say. You find that most of the children who come from single parent families is wanakwenda very aggressive.
Yeah, because they know they are here alone. There is no father who is backing them. So they are putting more effort than someone who's driven to school and back.
Kama mother, ama chali, ama ambia mtoto the truth. What happened between me and your mom, or what happened between me and your dad? Alafu kuwe na hiyo kweli. Seti ile, when a woman ukiambia mom, what's happened with my dad? My dad is a dog. All men are dogs. Unaona? Ndio ukipata mzee anaambia okay, your dad alikuwa na misbehave, alikuwa anafanya hivi na hivi, or your dad alikuwa anapata do, akapata mimi sina do ya kutosha as he was expecting, ndio akafanya tuka break. Unaona?
So what does that say about our society? Is the family unit falling apart? It affect the fabric of society?
It is falling apart. Family unit is falling apart. But if the single parents were responsible enough to raise their kids in an upright, moral manner, then I think the society would stick together.
Which is happening, if I just correct you a little bit, which is happening in some single parent homes. Not all of them are raising their kids in a...
In some, I can say 1%.
One has money. It all depends. If a mother, I believe if a mother has good money, she has a good job, definitely this boy or a girl is going to be brought up in a very good way. Irrespective whether there is no father, is passed on or is run away. You have money, there's nothing is stressing you.
Money is not the factor that will make you raise your kid badly or wisely.
Wacha tushushe mtu na tubebe mwingine, tuendelee na mada yetu hapa kwa Matatu. You meet me, I'm single, I have a child, I'm raising them. What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Obviously, lazima kukuwe na kitu ilitokea ndio ukakuwa single. Aidha mtu mmoja amedai, pengine mkadivorce, pengine hamkuweza kuelewana. Sasa unajua pengine ulizaa kama uko kwenu bado. Unajua pengine unaweza kuwa ukizaa kwenu jali kuna vile pengine anaweza kuwa amebadilisha mind yake kukuhusu.
Alright, sawa. In conclusion,
society vile imetulelea imefanya tukabelieve ati well ndio ukue single kama uko kwenu somehow ulikuwa of loose morals.
What should change?
What should change? our perception.
We should all respect other people's decisions.
It's true.
You know, because
Be a man. Yeah. Be a man.
I listen to what I'm saying.
Wait, I have to say this. First of all, kama wewe ni mwanaume, you do not usikatae ati pregnancy. Unangoja ati mtu ameshinda marathon ndio unatokea sijui for unasema that was my son. Eh? Yeah.
Okay, and
be the dad.
And also society, please support them. Support these single parents around however you can. Usimchukulie tu vibaya. You don't know the circumstances, and if you do, just support them in every way. Sasa hayo ndio maoni ya watu.
The role of the people in this matatu kutoa maoni. Role yenu nyumbani kusikiza maoni. Role yetu kuwapeleka wapi? Kwa streets, kuchukua maoni ya watu kwa streets, ndio? Yeah.
You've thought about that one? Yeah. Okay, sawa, let's go to the streets.
Kwa maoni yangu, mimi naona ni shida. Kazi hawana kazi vijana. Sasa ni urafiki tu wataka kidogo. Na tuseme kama ni bahati mbaya mzuri mtoto anapatikana.
It's not really the best, but sometimes it's for the better.
Parents wanaonekana kwa vile kuna wengi kwa vile sasa wasichana wamekuwa wengi kuliko wanaume.
Natakana mtu alee mtoto akiwa baba na mama. Huo ndio msingi mzuri.
Na sasa hii ni nini sasa?
Role yetu sahi ni ku stay tuned. Yetu kwenda kupumzika.
Exactly. We're going for a short break. We'll be right back.